Today we're talking with Matthew Cross. Matthew is a political science instructor. Matthew, hello. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Can you give us a little background on your career with the college?
Sure. I started at the college as an adjunct professor about 2005. Shortly after that, I was hired full-time in the political science department here on South Campus. I teach primarily Introduction to Politics and Government courses, POLS 1000. I also teach politics in film, music, and art, politics in the media, and periodically labor management relations courses.
And what instructional technologies do you currently incorporate into your teachings, and what advice would you have for other instructors who might use those same technologies?
Okay. I'm using, right now all of my courses are web enhanced, so I use Angel. It's primarily, the reason that I use Angel is, well, one, I can have email access to every student, so even students who don't have an email address outside of school, they can get one established. It's an easier way to communicate with students, easy to deliver resources to students, whether it's reading guides, articles, things that I want them to check out. Instead of printing out 150 copies, I can put it online. And then also for the ease of grading, where students can access their grade regularly and keep up on how they're doing in the class. So I'm using Angel for that. In class, the technology I'm using primarily is PowerPoint, but Turning Point as well. You can see my remotes here. So using Turning Point as a way to kind of assess how the students are doing. In my PowerPoint presentations, I'll often have questions intermittently throughout the PowerPoint presentation so that periodically I can test students and kind of make sure they're getting the material. Other than that, in terms of technology, I'm using a lot of audio and video. So just today, for example, as part of our discussion of rights in the workplace, we listened to a recording of a prison labor song from the 1960s, and we watched a brief episode of Stephen Colbert. The best piece of advice I could give is, with a lot of technology, and the resources that we have available here at Macomb, I think are fantastic, and very much worth looking into. But the advice that I would give is, don't use technology just for the sake of using it. Make sure it's something that's not. It's important for an instructor, I think, to make their work and make their job easier if they can. But if that technology is making your job easier, but it's not doing anything to advance student learning, then I think you need to question seriously whether or not you should be using it, or if you're using it in the right way. And the other thing I would suggest is to be very aware that not all students have access to these materials and don't have training in how to use them. So for example, with Angel, if I'm web enhancing my courses, I also stress to my students, while I would like you to learn how to use this, if you can't or if it's too difficult, you didn't sign up for an online course, and I'll make resources available to you, in a different way. I think it's really important. That's the advice that I would give, is if you're relying on technology, make sure that every student is able to use that technology and they understand how to use it, and give them some time for training too.
Great. Are there any things that you're excited to try out? Any teaching methods or technologies that you're looking at?
I would like for my online courses to explore recording audio and or video lectures and delivering material that way, because I think while my written lectures are absolutely fascinating and riveting, makes Harry Potter look like, no, I'm kidding. It is reading, and on top of already having to read the textbook, then to have to sit there and read the lecture. I think for some students they would react better to having the material delivered in a different way. So I'm excited about trying to do video, also audio recordings, MP3s, that lectures that students can download, to their MP3 device or their iPod. Do they still have iPods? Or
Yes.
have they moved past that?
Oh no, there's
They
lots
still
of
have
iPods.
Okay. So, definitely wanting to try that, and I know Macomb has a lot of those resources available for professors. And I'm also interested too in how I can use technology in a way where the students are not just passive recipients of what I'm creating with that technology, that trying to figure out how they might become involved either in the creation of the technology and not creating the software, but whether it's a wiki or whether it's a blog, something that will involve more student interaction, where it's not just the technology equivalent of me standing up in front of a class and lecturing at them.
Right, okay. All right, the topic of your idea exchange is the next question here. So the general idea is that we'd like to ask you about what your idea is and if there's any sort of conversation or feedback you'd like to have with other faculty on campus about that idea. So it could be related to any of the technologies that you've mentioned or basic teaching strategies in the classroom. So is there anything that you're interested in conversing with other faculty about in your teaching strategies?
Getting away from technology, I'm interested in conversing about how instructors incorporate more group work and group activity in the classroom. I know this is something that's tricky for a lot of instructors because, we've all had the experience of here's 4 or 5 people in a group that were tasked with doing some research or some project, and 2 of the people in the group did all the work. How do you address that issue? And then going off of what I said in the previous question, how can you use technology in a way that isn't just directing materials at students where they're passively receiving them, but how can you use technology to involve them? How can they take part in using these materials and resources? Not every student is going to react well to just an hour and a half lecture with me just standing talking in my lovely nasal Midwestern voice, right? Some will, some will like that. But I'm a big one for trying to meet the students where they're at. It's not the same, the institutions of learning are not the same as they were when I was coming up. So what worked for me isn't going to work for every student here. Not everything is going to work for everybody, but how do you incorporate different things, especially with this generation being so media savvy and being so, in some cases, oversaturated with media? Okay, how do you use that to your advantage?
All right, now it's the time of the interview where we ask you a mystery question.
Oh, hell.
And
killing me, Sean.
I know, I decided to go a different route this time. And rumor has it that your guilty pleasure is reality TV. And in particular, the smash hit series Jersey Shore. Is this correct?
Not completely. I'm fascinated with it like people are fascinated by a train wreck. So.
Gotcha.
All right.
All right, so your mystery question for prizes is, according to the Jersey Shore website, there are 8 main characters on the show. Can you name 5 of the 8 characters?
All right. First of all, if I can't, then I'm obviously not a fan, and that's probably not a bad thing. If I can name 5 of them, then I don't know what that says about me.
Yeah, I gotcha.
There's that guy named The Situation.
Yeah.
What a freak. Vinny.
Yeah.
Snooky. Marcus.
Don't have him on the list.
No Marcus. That was just a guess.
You got 3 of the 8.
Is there a Jill?
No.
Jillian?
There's a Jenny.
I'm lost. I'm going to have to lose this one. Oh, wait, Robbie. Isn't there a Robbie?
There's a Ronnie. None of the prizes are really grand prizes, so what we've got for you today is reward stickers for your students.
Oh, fantastic.
So you can give them a nice sticker on their paper.
Fantastic. Very good.
So.
Oh, yeah.
I know you're excited about that. So Matthew Cross, we appreciate your time. Thank you for participating in the idea exchange.
Thank you for asking me.
All right.